So let's do that. Then let's do some graphing. New page. Right click. Enter an equation.
Let me see him.
Now I'm going to put in y equals, now if you press x, you get x squared. Yeah. And that goes right up to x to the power 6.
X, it makes x squared.
So a really nice quick way to put it in the parabola is that. Now you'll notice that there aren't any constants in here, so that's not relevant, but the start-off options are where you can either go automatic or you can do manually from, say, -1 to 1.
Oh, again, where do you go, Mr.
Start-up option.
And that was the start-up option.
Okay, I did, but it says
No,
not.
but because you didn't have an equation here.
Oh,
You can also do draw options if you want to make it, say, a dotted line.
Double click on y equals x squared. See what here?
Pretty fat.
Glad you find out?
Yes,
You
yes.
good? Okay.
That's the draw options.
That's good as well. I wait to get some.
Start-up options, and click OK. This will now plot y equals x squared on a domain from -1 to +1.
So you're rotating it.
Now, if I click OK, it's going to do it very quickly,
You're moving central rotation.
and which is why I would quite like to introduce you to my friend the tortoise,
It is very nice.
or perhaps you call it a turtle. Anyway, here he is. He makes everything go slowly. It means everything is plotted slowly. So let's replot that.
How did he do that?
He went up to the torch.
Replot.
He went to this one of these three.
The icon up there.
Just click on this fellow here.
Yeah.
On the
Now
total.
he stays on all the time. So personally, I always put him on the morning, and he's there all day. Because to plot something quickly really is against all the principles of getting things across. It's really nice. So I click OK, and what happens now is that it will plot slowly from there to there. And it starts at -1 and finishes at +1. So that's replot, all fast forward. So for example, let's do some trig. Right click, I can enter an equation, and now I can enter y equals sin x.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
Now I've been in the habit of putting spaces in between terms,
I'm looking at this icon.
just makes it look a bit nicer. But it's not essential, there is no. Now if I click OK, you can see what's happening. It's plotting slowly. There's plenty of time to press the pause bar, and you have to press the space bar as well, it does the same thing. But of course these scales aren't very exciting, not for trig functions. So this is where our red check comes in.
I like
Red
that you
check
can
says
pause
this is a
it.
trig function.
Yeah.
We're in degrees because we're in the standard level with no such thing as radians. And click on the red check and it should, more like it. Okay, now let's choose much easier. A times sine of x, where A is a constant. Now as soon as you have a constant in here,
Okay, that is. Okay,
you can edit the constant.
Watch.
Notice the initial value is always 1. So you don't have to visit that. If you're happy with the value of 1, then you just click OK and off it goes. And that will of course drop right on top of the other one.
Actually gives you back the original Cartesian plane.
Okay,
That's where it's this.
Could you repeat that process one more time? They were getting too excited with what they were doing.
Not a different page, it's just back to the original.
Okay.
The normal
I was entering an equation,
spacing. Yeah.
and I was entering y equals a sine x. Now you can put as many constants in here as you like, but they always start off with the value of 1. And you can check that by doing edit constants, and there's the value of 1. Well, I cancel that, I've already drawn it.
And then I check amplitude again.
Oh, this is wonderful.
And if you can replot anytime you get the chance to revisit the startup options. Okay, fast forward. And now I want to introduce you to the constant controller.
Yes.
As soon as you have constants in an expression, or they could be in
This is
a coordinate,
You can raise like 3x
you
plus
can
c.
control it
Where
dynamically.
is the
All the
control?
graph transformations
Where
This
is
is
the
the constant controller for page 10, and we're on page 10 at the moment.
okay.
And, for example, A is 1, which we know about. Now, as a basic principle of using software in front of children, I'm absolutely adamant you should never,
No, you just-
never
you
press
just
a
press.
button without thinking about what the consequences of that button are. And right changes the step. The moment it's set to 1, so if I click on this button, A will go up to 2,
That's only at least.
or down to 0.
That's only at
If I
least
reduce
one.
the step to 0.1, so it's only up to 1.1, and down to 0.9, 0.9. Just remember to speak American. Now the pen is fantastic, the scribble tool, because we want to ask the students what's going to happen if instead of A being 1, it's going to be 1.1. Well, you discuss and decide that, for example, this point's going nowhere, this point's going nowhere, this one's going to go up, and this one's going to come. So when you have that discussion, then you're ready to press the button, or get a student to press it. Fantastic. Ready, steady, go. Off we go. Now you really can, and you can see that visually, they were prepared for this. The wrong way round is to press the button and say, oh look,
Yeah, I saw it.
once you've got that, you
Wow.
can store the options, which are to do a family plot. Where that is, that's the options button in the constant controller. You can either do a family
Oh, I
plot
like animation.
from, say, -2, tab 2,
Wow.
tab 0.25, and that will do a family plot.
Okay, that's what he's doing. Exactly what you're doing.
And there almost certainly some string players in your class, so you say, who plays the violin, who plays the guitar? This, of course, is exactly what's going on every time you play the script.
And Steve, you can also obtain body of solid
Or,
revolution.
options, you can make this an animation.
Oh, yeah.
We go, and isn't that?
But rotate, it's this third one. The blue, on the blue, the first 3 blue, I think the third one is 3D.
How much we have started when you teach? It's amazing. When I try to go, you paper